Ms. Groves?
Yes.
How are you?
You know, I'm okay today. How are you?
Okay. I'm not sure if you received this email.
Well, if you sent it to me, I'm sure I have. If it was recent.
Yes, it has been
Okay.
recent. But I wanted to make sure that everyone had a copy of it. So can I have you to just endorse that you received it and give these to the members of the Audit and Accountability meeting?
The committee members?
Yes.
Yes, I can distribute that.
Okay. And if I can just get you to initial that you received that one.
Is this my cut?
These are
I'll have
your
a copy in
copies.
here?
Yes.
Okay. I can do that.
I appreciate that.
Now, I'm not attesting to the accuracy of anything in
Oh,
it, just that I received it.
that you
Okay.
received it. Yes.
Where would you like me to initial
Anywhere.
it? And today is?
The 26th.
I'm sorry. How's that?
Yeah, no, I can.
That'll work? Okay. If not, let me know. So I'm going to write the committee
That's
members'
fine.
names. Steph, that's me. No,
Thank
keep
you.
that, recycle it. Use it again.
Thank you.
Sure. Davis. Copy of the minutes, and should have a copy of it in your packet. Okay. Any further discussion? All right, good to go. Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Gross? Yes. Mr. Puccio?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, the minutes are approved, so we're down to the internal auditor reports.
The first item that I would like to request approval to present to the board is legislation for members of the Office of Internal Audit to get a membership in the Ohio Government Finance Officers Association. It's one of our professional organizations that we historically are members of. It allows us to get information regarding government operations and to attend seminars every. That's right.
I think we've done this 13
We've done
times.
this,
We don't see any reason we can't put it down. We ought to get a free year coming up.
Yeah, take the road. Ms. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Puccio.
Yes.
Mr. Davis. Motion carries.
Okay, this will be on the next board agenda. Okay, thank you.
The next item is the Office of Internal Audit's activity update. This is an activity update for the month of May, and then to also let you know what we're having planned for the months of June, July, and August. The first thing is a special review of an elementary school. We were notified of a missing deposit money bag. We have opened a special review to examine the circumstances surrounding the loss of the money bag. We have conducted an entrance conference, have started the field work. We're in the midst of gathering the information and reviewing the documentation. Once we complete that phase, we'll do a exit conference and we'll report to this committee at our regularly scheduled meeting.
How much money?
$1,650. It may be a little bit more. There were two money bags.
Oh. Who's in charge of that? Like at the school, who handles that? A bunch of people to handle it? Is it one?
One is a latchkey, one is a food service.
Oh. Okay.
The next item, we are completing our follow-up review for the negative balance in the.
Can I ask another quick question?
Okay.
Do we, I don't know, every 3-year basis or every 4-year basis monitor that schools are in compliance with the money handling procedures and controls? We just go in, I mean, are logs they're supposed to sign, or people to approve, or they're, is the brakes truck picking up every day, is all that, are we auditing that that's happening?
That is part of what the state auditors do on a limited basis, and also I'll start this, and if the treasurer wants to jump in. Her staff is going out to the schools and actually doing school reviews.
Okay, that's good.
And they started that, I want to say, maybe last year.
Right.
That's great. So how,
Is that part of student activity reviews too, Bill?
Student activities and athletics, or
It's all student activities. When student activities include latchkey and food service, or would that be different? Would it be different?
That's an addition.
In
It's
addition
in addition
to.
to.
In addition to, okay, thank you.
But it's the same cashier payment expectation.
The next item is a follow-up to a review that we did last year regarding, I think it was negative balance in the cheerleader account at one of our high schools, and we're just doing our routine follow-up. At this point, we have done the audit is complete, it's just a matter of drafting the report, and I can prematurely report that so far all of our recommendations have been implemented. Even one that wasn't adopted district-wide, the school went ahead and adopted, and it's working out very well for them, and that was, we recommended that prior to initiating a fundraiser, that the cash be on hand, or I'll let Gina go in.
Oh, we suggested that cash be on hand prior to a purchase order being created, so that we did not have a negative balance should the cash expected not be collected. And this school has actually initiated that, so most of their balances are positive, and they're making people put in the money before they create a purchase order to buy anything.
so when you say most of the schools, 50%, 60%?
No, I said most of this school's
Oh,
purchases.
okay. Is it
will
doing,
look
we
at
doing
my
it
school.
district-wide, that same procedure?
It was not, it's not a requirement district-wide, because we recommended it, and the school actually adopted it. So it's not something that's been.
So why wouldn't you do it district-wide?
My question is where they get the money. That was my question.
It's like when they want to do a sale, they want to, say cheerleaders want to sell candy bars. The issue is they have to have the product up front to then sell to get the
So
product.
how is this school doing?
This is a situation where they are doing it a little differently. Gina can.
Well,
Um,
what they're doing is it's like for the cheerleader uniforms, they would go ahead and create the purchase order and let the cheerleaders be on a payment plan. What they actually did is make their payment plans earlier, so you had to have your money in or it didn't get ordered.
Yeah.
So instances like that.
Yeah.
They are having bake sales. I did not see a lot of pre-buy sales. Or they may get the money lent. from
Yeah, I
the
wouldn't
principal's
expect that,
fund.
but something on cheerleader uniforms absolutely, or, a cheer camp or whatever. We should be advancing school funds to pay for that stuff.
And previously we did.
Yeah, so
Right.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that across the whole district.
And it's determined site-based, the type of sale they want to have. They want to have a bake sale,
Yeah, I'm not
obviously.
talking about sales, I'm talking about purchasing uniforms, going to camps, something where a payment is necessary before you collect the money for it. Why wouldn't
Right.
you do that across the district?
We do that across the district for things other than if it's a sale.
Yeah, I get the sale.
Yeah, that's the only reason that we
But
would.
it doesn't sound like they were doing it in school.
And last year they weren't, and that's how
It should be.
the cheerleader balance became negative because of camp fees and I want to say uniforms.
So everybody across the district is collecting camp fees, collecting uniform fees before we order uniforms and sign up for camp.
I wouldn't
That's
say.
site-based.
Yeah,
It's a
I wouldn't
site-based.
say.
But I don't think it should
Put
be
my name on
site-based.
guaranteeing that.
Why would you have it site-based? That's a good control. I don't know why you wouldn't have it across the district.
Let's look at it.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
there-
it'd be worth for you guys looking into it, I think.
Yeah, because we can't answer that question.
No, I got you, but I just,
As to why we might not, but there might be some good reasons.
yeah,
I'd like to look at
yeah,
it.
I agree. I appreciate that. sitting here hearing about it for 1 minute sounds like good. But everybody should be doing it.
Well, this school did adopt it, so we'll be bringing that report back in. I'm anticipating bringing the report to the committee in June for release.
So within the next couple of months, we'll get a report back from treasurer or whoever.
We'll tell you next month.
District-wide, yeah.
I'll tell you. You know, what comes to mind though is sometimes timing and the difficulty in fundraising. I think we have to do a lot of fundraising for, my guess would be, and I really need to look at that for some of those things, because we are gonna have some kids, not all, some kids who are not gonna be able to write the check immediately, even for the deposit. And so then you go into fundraising, and then it takes some time to do some things, and you know, you might have a timing issue with actually ordering whatever it is. So, you know, we'll look into it.
Yeah, that's a
Again,
good
I'm
point.
just saying, just from experience, those sound like things that have happened, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just don't think the
I don't know.
district should be on the hook if
Gotcha.
somebody can't come up with the funds.
Right.
And that sounds like what has happened a little bit over the past. Not widespread, I'm just saying it.
In this situation.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I think all knows we're managing it pretty well.
The next item is we did a high school audit, just one of our routine operation audits where we go out to we select a couple schools and go out every year, not every year to the same school, but a couple schools and go out and do audits of those schools. And we have completed the field work, the exit conference on May the 13th. And right now, the report is in my office for me to review it. And then once I have completed my review, and we get the responses from management, the report will be presented to this committee at a regularly scheduled meeting. And right now, I'm anticipating June unless something unexpected comes up. The next item is an ongoing audit of the SES office, the internal controls. And right now, we are in the middle of field work. I am anticipating field work being completed on this audit, I want to say in June. If we can keep to that schedule, the report should come to this committee no later than the July. If we have a July meeting, we'll be pushing it to bring it to this committee by June. Engagements planned for the next 3 months. When you see ongoing, this is just something that we just are routinely doing. So as the B&E committee has meetings, members of the internal audit staff go and provide recommendations as are appropriate. ACL implementation is for the Office of Internal Audit. We are working with a consultant, and he's helping us develop the scripts and working with us in order to get the information from our systems here in the district into a format that we can use and start being effective with this program. The food service, Sodexo year-end reconciliation, after the year closes and the district and Sodexo come to agreement on the final numbers, we will go in and look at that information, the underlying documentation, to see if that information is supported and if the reconciliation is something that this office will be agreeing with.
Do you know approximately when that might begin?
No, that's really up for food service. Last year, I believe the process didn't end until probably November. I have not spoken to Mr. Brown to find out where we are in the process this year, but the school year is still ongoing, so as soon as that happens, we'll be getting with Joe to find out when we can come over and look at the information.
Thank you.
The next item is we did a compliance review of the Sodexo contract in December, and we'll be doing that follow-up review. I anticipate getting in there around the same time as the reconciliation. It just kind of worked out that way because of some other items that we had on our agenda that pushed the follow-up back. And then the last area is the auditor of state audit coordination. I just had a brief conversation there, anticipating starting their audit around the same time as they usually do. And of course, we'll be involved in working with the district as far as the corrective action plan follow-up as we normally do.
What's that usual time? Because the usual time has changed.
They say July or August.
Okay.
And are we still working with them? Are they still doing the CAP, or is that who we?
That's correct.
That's correct, okay.
That's still on schedule?
The next item, I don't want to spend a lot of time on, but I just wanted to, it's not on the agenda. Actually this month, the Office of Internal Audit attended a 2-day fraud conference sponsored by the Auditor of State and the Attorney General's office. And it was a lot of good information if you're into that stuff, which we are. And one of the things that they, a lot of the presenters were referring back to is the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners report to the nations. And it's like a 270-something slide presentation, which I promise I will not ask you all to sit through that. But so one of the things that I do want to bring back and more information is just some of the, what I thought would be helpful and interesting information. And one of the key methods for the initial detection of fraud, they have it ranked in order. And one of the key ones are tips. They were saying over 40% of the initial detection of fraud it comes through the tip line or hotline. And the audience that normally is the source of your tips are employees. So I just, like I said, it's a 270-something slide presentation. I do want to drill down, just bring back some of the, I think, more interesting information to this committee and possibly to even senior leadership at a later date.
We talked about a tip line and a hotline. Did we ever clear all the hurdles with that? There's a lot of public disclosure issues.
I think that's where it went, there was the challenge, this is why I remember, I don't know, Stephanie, if you were, that, it was all
It's immediately discoverable.
it is.
Yeah.
It's public record, no matter what. Because it seems to me there was a particular organization.
Well, and we were trying, when Jeff was on the, way back when Jeff was trying to figure out legislation to be able to, let us investigate tips without them becoming public record right away. I don't think we're going anywhere. But it'd be interesting to just survey some other schools, see if they have implemented any kind of ethics hotline or anything like that. Ours is very effective nationwide. And it's not widely used, but it is important for bringing things to our attention, and it's all confidential, and we investigate, and not that many of them turn out, but it's also a way to report on management misbehavior, management misconduct, and so it really has a big impact on culture. So that'll be interesting to hear about some
See about bringing that back to the committee at a day. Okay.
That'd be very good.